Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the readings. So I do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Because a lot of times it's not about what our person does. We don't understand what they do. We don't understand why they do it. And when you're dealing with wounded people, they have the potential to wound us, right? When you hurt people, hurt people. It's just the way that it goes. So, in order to avoid negative karmic consequences, you must need to know that there's many different realities that play out at one time. So, depending on what you do is going to be how the karma plays out, right? So we always want to try and avoid any negative karmic retribution. So, as I said, I do look at everything, but a lot of times we're not going to like what we see play out, and we want to know how we can shape shift the energy. Sometimes we could even balance out the situation, believe it or not. But we don't aim to do that. What we aim to do is understand the spiritual lesson so that we can integrate the spiritual lesson so that we can evolve into a higher state of consciousness so we can attract people that are more in alignment with who we are today and where we want to go instead of what our wounds look like. Our past traumas, past experiences that we perceived as negative. We want to avoid those. Now, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you find in the description box. And if you want to enter into a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Sometimes I pick more than one card, but you only have to write the one word in your comment bar. If I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath, then just reach out to me through email, which you find again in the description box, along with all other important information. And we'll figure out the best day and time that works for the both of us. All spiritual readings that I give away are done live, but you can ask me the questions in an email the day before so you can make it private. I just believe in spiritual law, what's best for everyone involved. All right, the word of the video is the gift of style, which I love that because the gift of style means that you're in the process of creating, that you are not really paying attention to anyone outside of you, that the gift of style is not an actual unfoldment process. No one can take what's yours. It says that in spiritual scripture. And the reason why is because your gift of style, you don't know it until you're actually embodying it. It's actually an unfoldment process, like I said. So you may have a lot of people that try and duplicate you, copy you, spit out the same verbiage that you do, but there's only one you. And it's again through your unique gift of style. Now, what's good about this energy is that when you're in the gift of style, you are vibrating at such a high vibration, you become the vibration of unconditional love because you're doing what you love. It's all about giving and receiving of love through your free will. And so we find that we're able to do this in a very balanced way when we're, again, creating. But in that, you're attached to a lot of people that really thought you were going to be affected by them. First, I feel like a karmic mate. Then I feel like it's past friends, friends that you grew out of, friends that were more like frenemies that liked having you around because it benefited them. I believe that you are actually going through a full transformation. So you're kind of like in this alone spot. Like you're not hanging out with that many people. You're kind of keeping to yourself. You're creating. You're at a high vibe. You're blocking everybody out. And that's a good thing because I feel like there's a lot of people throwing shade at you because they expected you to act a certain way and they expected you to fail and they expect you to be going through a hard time right now. And that's not happening. You're actually in the gift of style. And that's when you are co-creating with the universe. That is when you are embodying the consciousness of God. Again, your creative genius is happening. So all eyes are on you, and there's a lot of people that don't like that. All right. So let's go a little bit deeper. I actually pulled from that deck. Let's pull from another deck to go just a little bit deeper. Again, disassociation. I feel like, again, um, you were dealing with someone that was acting very detached from you emotionally. That's what disassociation means. It means that person doesn't have one feeling about it one way or the other. And you were dealing with a lot of people like this. And I believe that you can actually have this energy too because you've gone through trauma. Traumatic experiences make us disassociate. It means that we know what happened, but we don't care one way or the other about it. So a lot of people are acting that way towards you. Now you're kind of acting that way towards them. So you're changing the full dynamic of the connection, which is making, again, a lot of people feel uncomfortable. Again, betrayal. People thought that you were going to be really upset. They thought that you were going to run after them, try and fix it, try and, fight for your position. I feel like that's with one spiritual connection that you have, that's a relationship, like a love connection. So this person, again, I feel like stabbed you in the back and expected you to like make a big stink about it. That's not what happened. You detached, you put the energy into yourself. There's also a bunch of people that thought that they would hear from you by now. That you're not reaching out to any of them because of the betrayal. And so, what you're actually doing without realizing that you're doing it is you're transmuting that pain into power. That's what you're doing. You took your power back. And like I said, it is shocking and it's astonishing a lot of people that are around you. When you were dealing with some of these people, let's see what was happening. Well, again, a lot of people wanted you to like be submissive to them. And I feel like it wasn't just one person. I feel like it was a karmic theme. People saw you as just because you're nice, just because you have healer energy and that you're very pure, that you want to see everyone win. And I feel like you helped everyone. However, you really do have a unique style to you. You really are like somebody that advances within your career. You get a lot of attention. People like you. People like the work that you do. But the people that you are hanging out with, they haven't found their gift of style. So that's the thing. They wanted to keep you around so you could continue to give them ideas and to help them. But the problem is that people would see that you were the one that really had the ideas and they would start to treat you nicer. So the people that were actually closer to you were not treating you nicer. They were actually not giving you credit for a lot of your ideas. They wanted you to do a lot of work and they didn't want to give you the credit for it. They didn't want to give you what was due. And I feel like, again, the person that was a love connection that was connected to you, they also didn't want to treat you that well. They wanted to treat you as if they were more superior, that they were going to come and go into your life when they felt like it. So I feel like at one point, you just were surrounded by people that didn't have your best interest at hand, and you weren't 100% aware of it until things got really bad. Again, like I said, you were in denial for a long time. And I feel like because you saw the good in people, but the problem is that when you do that, you're teaching people that they can do whatever, there's no consequences. So that's why these people are shocked that you're like disconnected and you're not giving anyone any attention. And if anything, you're creating a lot of attention towards you by what you're doing because you're in the gift of style. So you're in the act of creating. And that does mean that you're meeting new people, you're connecting to new people. It means that you're having a love affair with yourself. It means that you're co-creating with the universe. So when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You make things look effortless, but it's the fact that you are spiritually aligned. See, when you are giving and receiving of love, you're becoming the energy vibration of love. So it doesn't matter what's happening around you or what's happening to you. You can actually elevate your consciousness to avoid any karmic consequences. See, there's a lot of people that don't want you to have your day. They don't want you to have your moment. because again, it was more beneficial for them to see that you were less than them. Not that you are, but if you believe that you are, well, then you're going to try harder to be in people's lives without them having to give much energy. You're not going to feel that great about yourself. And that's not what happened. If anything, everybody's looking around and saying, wow, you're not only disconnected from certain people that you're no longer friends with, but you're actually vibing at such a high vibration that those people couldn't even come back into your life because they're on such a low vibration. So these people, they can't help but to stare at you and they're envious. And then again, you have a lover that didn't treat you well, that didn't give you anything, and they're also staring at you. So all eyes are on you. I think that you are in denial about how actual powerful you are. Yeah, there was a lot of people that just wanted to create trouble in your life. And like I said, you may say, well, why is that if I didn't do anything and I was only nice? Well, because hurt people hurt people. So when you go so far out of your way to help people that really haven't done anything for you, you're assuming that those people are on the same vibration as you are. They're not. They're on a low vibration. They don't feel good about themselves. Your idea of a friendship and their idea of a friendship are two different things, first of all. They kept you around because, again, of your ideas, because of your know-how, because of your connections, because of your personality, because of your light. They don't have those qualities. They haven't found who they are. So, because they haven't found who they are within their craft, there is no unfoldment process, right? Our unfoldment process happens when we are on the path and we are creating ourselves. We're not leading ourselves. Our intuition is leading us. The higher self is, but it only happens when we're grounded. These people that are connected to you are so busy looking in your garden and what you're doing that they're not making anything happen for them because they're also wishing you bad, where you have again elevated your energy. So you're not paying attention to any of these people. You're just paying attention to the whole act of creation. So understand no one can cause you any harm and they don't understand why. They feel like if anything they're getting negative karmic retribution, which is what happens, by the way. If you are in a high vibration of unconditional love, then the universe protects you because you are contributing to humanity. You've come here and you are fulfilling your purpose. These people are not. They're coming from such a low vibration. And the issue is that um, the people that were friends to you, they're so angry because their life is not working out. They're not in a good place, and your life looks better than ever. And they also know that you would be helping them right now if they didn't sabotage the connection. And I feel like this karmic person feels like you are moved so much further past them because they thought that they were going to use time and space as a way to scare you, but you disconnected and started to create yourself. And now this person is saying, oh my God, look how much space that I've created. How am I going to get back into like your life? They don't know they're going to get back into your life. Because the universe is taking you further and further and further away from this energy because you're embodying the consciousness of love by giving and receiving of love through the act of creation. You are co-creating with the divine. So you are so protected, and that's why everything that everybody is projecting onto you is going back onto them. So if they wanted to see poor financial problems, now they're having poor financial problems. If they wanted to see that you were alone, now they feel more alone. They wanted you to feel insecure, now they're feeling insecure. And they're watching you, and you're again raising your vibration higher and higher and higher, moving further and further and further away from these people, which is really triggering, which is why some of them are like, how can we figure out how to create trouble in your life? And you're like, well, the only way is to create a false argument. It's like that's this person wants to like try to like come into your life and create an argument to try to trigger you. Like, well, I didn't get into a fight with you. I didn't treat you that way. How come you haven't talked to me? I feel like they're going to try and come into your life and twist things around. Like, no, that's not what happened. And that might have worked a long time ago. The only way that this energy can actually drain your energy is if you feed it. So don't feed it. You let the person think and do whatever they want because they want you to be angry. They want to lower your energy because that's the only thing that they can do. They can't tell you, "Hey, stop creating. Hey, stop being on your path." You're seeing good results from that. So you're not going to do that. The only thing that they can do is come into your life to stir up emotions. And I feel like it's not just one person. I feel like this karmic is going to come back the same time as these old friends come back, possibly because things are happening in your life. And everyone is saying, well, they're seeing things are happening in your life. And they are realizing that they are not going to be part of that experience. So they're angry and they're irritated because it's their actions that created this manifestation. You got tired of being ignored. You got tired of being treated less than. You're like, it was a form of gaslight. It's psychic attack. Not going to acknowledge anything that you do. I am not going to praise anything that you do. I'm not going to acknowledge you. I'm going to treat you a lot less than, in hopes that you give me more, that you give us more, that you do more for us. And maybe at one time that worked, but I feel like these people took it to the extreme. You know, the more that you give, the more people tend to want. That's just the way that it goes, you know? So you got tired, you got resentful, you felt like you held too much resentment within the connections because and they manifest as conflict where you could constantly were fighting, not just with this karmic, but and I'm going to call them a karmic because they don't have any intention in changing you. What's gotten their attention is that you are not reacting to them, that you're in such a high vibration, that you're moving away from them, that they're the ones that ruin the connection, not really for any reason, just because I feel like they didn't want to be subservient to you. They didn't want to give you your credit. It's kind of like the same karmic theme that we see with this karmic and these old friends that are karmic that also did. And so what you notice is the more that you hung out with them, the more that, even if you didn't get what they were saying at the time, you would always leave like feeling worse, feeling drained, and then finally realizing like, wait a minute, like it's like I'm doing everything in this connection. I go out of my way to try and make you feel comfortable. And instead of really being appreciated for it, you were being mocked for it. You felt worse, like again, and you started to get resentful because you're like, I'm giving up my things that I want to do to help you people, to accommodate you people, but you guys aren't even treating me on a fair, even ground. You want me to not take credit for my ideas. You don't want to give me credit for my ideas. You want to downplay who I am. You want to try and make me feel bad. You give me very little to work with, and you expect top shelf in return. You want me to give you first class energy, but you're not even giving me like, budget. The budget airline, right? And so it's like you're like, and if anything, you're like to that karmic, you're like, and I feel like you still have connections to someone in your past. So that they never really 100% close out any connection that they have with anyone. Well, I feel like it's not so much that they had an emotional connection that you think like, oh, that this person really cared. No, they did have an emotional connection because I feel like someone had full control over them. So I feel like that you're connected to someone that does have a very strong connection to you, but they expected you to wait. They expected you to be on hold because somebody else has power over them. So maybe again, you're connected to someone that has kids, someone that is financial, like your person may be financially a little bit reliant on this person. Um, that the connection isn't still really like a love connection. It's not an equal give and take reciprocity. If anything, the person that's connected to you has like more feelings emotionally towards you. They just can't give you anything. And this is why they're resentful that your life is looking better and that you're not going to stick around to fix their situation, to help them out of their situation, to coddle them in their situation. You're like, this isn't enough for me. Instead, you're trying to manipulate me, gaslight me to make me feel bad about myself in hopes that I'll stay and settle for nothing. This was this karmic's approach in how to deal with you. And it was pretty much the same with these friends. So you're like, okay, like I don't really need to be around it. Like I feel like it's dishonest. I feel like you people are dishonest. I feel like you started to look around and say, well, why am I getting good results and why aren't you people getting good results? And the one thing that you saw is you guys are all dishonest. You're not honest with me. You're trying to make me feel as if that I'm less than, that I'm not good enough so that you don't have to come in correct. So, you did that in other areas of your life. And that's all of them. It's like if all you people don't get your way, what do? You throw a temper tantrum, you manipulate, and then you try to destroy the person's reputation. You gaslight, you make it like it's their problem. And here it is, you rose above that energy. So you have a lot of people mad at you because you saw right through them. And they're like having to look at your success and their mediocrity, and if that, because again, their anger is you know is eating up at them. I mean, this karmic doesn't even have full control over their life. It's like they just felt like, well, I'll just stay stuck and maybe you'll fight for me or fix this to get me out of this. And here it is, you put the energy into yourself and they're like, well, I didn't beat you down enough to stay here and tolerate this. Oh, I'm annoyed. It's like they're a piece of work. They're a piece of work. It's like you're tired of the gaslighting. You're like, okay, I know what you're doing. And the reason why you knew what these people were doing is because you had such a high vibration of creating yourself. When you saw what was going on, you're like, okay, I'm not getting anything back from these connections. It's actually draining me. But it all kind of happened at the same time, which if you weren't in the gift of style, you weren't giving yourself love, you would have fallen prey to like try to make it work. That's what these people thought. They were like, oh well, you're not going to leave, you don't want to end the relationship with us, where you look how much you've invested in the relationship. So everyone got really cocky, and what they see is again that you're like, I can tell the difference between gaslighting and not gaslighting. I can see it, and I'm not going to entertain this. You didn't say anything, you entertained yourself. So now this person, their self-image of how they see themselves, and this is what really makes them angry, right? These people, and it's not just this karmic person, it's all of them. You want to know why they're angry. You want to know why they don't come back. Well, it's again their self-image. See, they projected onto you what they really need healing in. You were just a kind person that gave and wanted to see everyone succeed, but they didn't earn that in your life. And there was also a sense that you felt a little obligated to do it because, again, things that they would say, things again, how they would make you feel when you had success in your life. They wouldn't praise it, they wouldn't acknowledge it. Again, they would gaslight you. So, you actually seeing who you are and standing up for yourself and doing good and raising your vibration, well, again, of course, shattered this person's self-image. That's what makes them mad. You rip that mask off of everybody and you're like, this is who you are and this is who I am. And everybody sees who the fuck I am. Because when you're in the gift of style, All eyes are on you. You're making things happen. You're at a high vibration. And, like I said, you're creating a new life out of this old life. It's almost like you're a caterpillar that's shedding, like you're turning into a butterfly. So at one point when you were a caterpillar, you could hang out with these people, but now that you're going to be a butterfly, you can't. You have wings, you're colorful, you draw a lot of attention. Everybody wants to touch you, everyone wants to be around you. No one wants to be around a caterpillar. Caterpillars are gross a lot of times. No offense to the caterpillar, but it's like these people haven't metamorphosed yet. So again, you seeing your worth and is making these people look at themselves, and like I said, what you're doing is you're shattering their self-image, and that's a problem for the ego because the ego says, well, now you fucked up my reality of what I thought, who I thought I was, what I thought my life was going to be. And what a lot of these people are realizing is they were relying on you for their success. They were relying on you to help them out of their jam. They were relying on you, and you just were like, bye. And now they're in a place of victimhood. They wanted you to be in a place of victimhood, and you like said, nope, you transcended that by being in the gift of style. So what we see here is people that are angry because you shattered their illusions of who you are, who they are, and now they're like, well, poor me, poor me, poor me, because of course they don't know how to heal themselves. They're still walking around with the same wounds, and now they got to look for somebody else, like a new host. You were that host that you took your power back but you poured it into yourself. Like I said, this is not what these people had planned. You know, they expected you to be in a place of fear when now they're in a place of fear. It's again, they need to heal certain karmic contracts. You broke this karmic contract because at one time I feel like you were close friends with these people, or you thought that you were. And as you raised your vibration from creating yourself and becoming yourself, your energy didn't match anymore. So the karmic contract got broken because a karmic contract only is held together through how much thoughts and emotions you give it. Our karmic contracts we can break at any time, but we have to step into a new version of ourselves. And that's what we see happened here, that you stepped into a new version of yourself and broke those karmic contracts. And that's what no one had planned for you. That's why everyone is like stuck in fear because they're like, now who's going to fix it? Now who's going to do it? Now who's going to save us? No, they wanted you to conform. But Spirit says, even though they wanted you to conform and they wanted you to lower your vibration and they wanted you to come from a place of victimhood, and that's not what happened, Spirit says you still need to forgive. It's like forgiveness is the spiritual lesson that really needs to be transmuted. And I feel like that's a wound that you had previously to this situation, you know, because you had people come into your life that treated you not worthy and you didn't notice it at first. You kept giving, and the more that you gave and the more love you poured into something, the more it was mocked, taken advantage of, and disposed of. And it brought you back to this childhood trauma. That's what I believe, almost where the same spiritual lesson. And I know that because the first card out is past lives, right? So it's like you incarnated with these people from a past life to learn this lesson. You were born into a family that also taught this lesson. And one of the lessons, without even pulling a card, we know is self-love, right? It's like knowing how to honor yourself. But we're going to pull six. And maybe we will find some gifts, not just, well, self-sabotage. Well, obviously that's not a gift. Frustration, oppression, exactly what was happening to you. You see, that's exactly what was happening to you. Five, no, that's four, dance. Then naive, truth, and isolation. We're going to pull just one more, which is vulnerability. And then we're going to pull two from the fearless deck to see, oh, why would you attract this person into your life? What are you supposed to learn? Tribe vibes and soul's calling. So align actions with values. So whenever we grow up in an environment where there was trauma, like life was hard, it was frustrating. Life was frustrating. And it's because we're being born into families that have spiritual blocks. So the way that we are is not the way that everyone else is. And when you're younger, you think that everybody thinks the way that you do. You think that everybody is the way that you are. You think everybody has the same heart as you do. They don't. And you obviously found that out the hard way. It was like, if anything, you were saw as very naive, and you were seen as very naive, but you always had your own style, your own flow, like in the dance of life, how we co-create with the divine. It's our unique individuality. It's our gift of style. Really, I mean, the way that I dance is not going to be the way that you dance. The way that I appreciate music is not going to be the way that you do, that we're all different. We find our flow in the universe by doing what we love. But I feel like you were raised by someone that continually took your energy, like oppressed your energy. And you, again, were not really allowed to be vulnerable. You weren't allowed to be transparent. So it would, like, how you created was always to go into isolation. I also feel like when you had to go through hard times, you went through them alone in isolation. So there was no support. There was no like encouragement from I feel like family, whether that was the mother, a father, or both. Again, they didn't understand your sensitivity. They didn't understand, and you also didn't understand why these people weren't the way that they were. Again, they didn't act like family. You know, what family gives unconditional love. They definitely don't oppress. So being brought up in an environment where you felt unloved, non-deserving is what we see here, because you weren't allowed to be vulnerable. So obviously, like, you're not going to be operating at your full creative potential. And when I say creative potential, that also means logically, mentally, psychologically. You're not going to be able to feel safe enough to do it. And so, because someone's oppressing you, which is frustrating because you're never seeing anything manifest in your life because people are holding you back. People are, again, making you second guess yourself, especially when it's family. So you don't really find your flow in the universe. Um, you're not able to be vulnerable, like I said, and you stay in a place of being naive, thinking that there's something wrong with you when there's nothing is wrong with you. It's actually the environment that you're in, that you're around people that are spiritually sick. And so, again, in order to deal with things, you had to go into isolation, but having this energy of, people that are supposed to love you and support you, but making you feel as if you're not worthy, that you're not good enough. Well, unconsciously, we actually begin to walk from that level and really feel like we're not deserving of it. And we then get in our own way by self-sabotaging ourselves. And that's usually by the tribe that we keep, by the people that we keep. And what Spirit said here is, no, you're listening to your soul's calling. You're listening to the whisper of your soul now, and you're aligning your actions with your values, which is making you a higher vibration than what you were, because your way was to, again, give a lot to the tribe, but the tribe wasn't on your vibration. They came into your life to teach you what your value is, because once you, again, aligned your actions with your values, well, your tribe became different. And what you realized is that your tribe manifested into a lot of different people, like the friends that you were friends with last year or the year before that wanted you to stay in this low vibration when you were connected to this karmic. Um, they don't match your vibration anymore. So the universe brought you new people. So you still don't have to face your fears alone. That the universe conspired to bring you people that were more in alignment with your values and your actions and your character and who you are today, which who you are today is knowing that you're deserving and you are putting the energy towards it. So Spirit's saying, well, that's why these people are not on the same vibration as you, and that's why they're falling out of your life, and that's why new people are coming into your life. You just haven't met a new soul mate yet. That was a past life karmic mate that wanted you to stay in a vibration of unconditional love. So we can ask, like, how does that person feel now? I mean, really, I feel like the friends are angry. They're not going to come back and apologize or do anything like that. They're just going to, be projecting evil thoughts at you, but it won't matter because you're not going to be affected by it because you're on a higher vibration. But this soulmate that is a past life karmic mate, remember, there's always a lot of love in these connections, even though it looks the way that it does. So I'm just curious, where is this person now? And it's like, well, they realize that again, there is a real soul connection within this connection. And what they see is it's again that they need to clear the illusions of the 3D world. Um, that they're changing on the inside due to this connection because it says clear the illusion of the 5D world. Don't take everything at face value. There's a lot more going on spiritually and energetically than you can see. So this person's acting like they don't care, but know that they do care. That this situation of how you broke away from them and changed, like your friends changed everything, like you look like a different person to this person. Like you've changed so much that they don't even know how to get back into your life. They don't know where they would even fit in your life now. But it influenced them. It changed them. It definitely knocked them off their freaking high horse. It's again, they know that you're going to meet someone before they're ready to even come back to you. It's like this is what they know. They know eventually you're going to meet somebody that you're going to, that because of that. And that, um, for a while they felt like you and them did connect on an energetic level, but this person makes them like this connection makes this person feel very insecure. Okay, it makes them feel very insecure because again, you showed them a different way of being. So what I feel like is happening is I don't really feel like this person's coming towards you or anything. I feel like it's almost like you did what you did, it shocked them. It shocked them, like because they've never had anyone like, make their life look better. They really expected for you to be like devastated to chase them, especially losing friends and whatever else changes happened in your life. That's not what happened. It's like you're at such a high vibration that it shocked them and it's making them do a lot of internal work. That's what I feel like. And they're like, by the time that I would be ready to give you what you're deserving of, you're going to meet somebody else because what they realize is that you do know your worth and you're living it. You're living it. So this person wouldn't be able to come back anyway, except for at the highest vibration. And they're just not, I'd say not really ready to do it because they still have a victim mentality, their tunnel vision, they tend to like things their way. They still have to work through their healing. They weren't on your vibration. They are getting spiritual insights It's not like they're not, because this is a spiritual connection. They wouldn't step long enough to really look at their situation. They see that they didn't value you. They see your strength and your power. But again, it's making them feel really insecure. And like I said, this person's just blocked right now. They're stuck, and they're stuck because they're going to have to um, challenge their ego. They're going to have to go against what they have, that like tear down the walls. This person created a narrative to make themselves look better, to give themselves a better self-image. You walking away and raising your vibration and meeting all new people and having a whole new life and having a whole new world open up for you. Like, this person never dealt with anything like that before. So of course it's changing them. It's majorly changing them. But I feel like they don't like it. It's triggering them. And it's going to take some time for them to fully digest it. That's why they know by the time that they're actually ready to come back and offer something, you're going to be long gone. You're not going to you're not going to put up with it. And these people know that, why would you come back and help them with anything, with their career or be friends? They didn't offer you enough in a friendship before for you to want to come back, that you see everything for what it really was, not for what you wanted it to be. At one time, I feel like you were in denial and you saw things for what you wanted them to be. And then what happened is you finally got it. You disconnected, you put the energy into yourself. Everybody expected you to fall, because I feel like, listen, it was hard to create yourself. It's hard to go off on your own. It's hard to, not really have any support, especially if other things are going on in your life. These people never expected it. And what the universe said is, yeah, but doesn't matter what they expected or not. You raised your vibration. And now these people they can't even be on your level. They can't stay in your life. They drop out of your life. And that leaves plenty of room for what's more in alignment with your character, with, your goals, with your dreams. Not these people that were more in alignment with your childhood trauma, of some people not acknowledging you for the good things that you do. Only the people, they only acknowledge you for the bad things that you did. So again, because of their pain, their suffering. So it's like you relived that experience, but you transmuted the negative energy because you saw it and you did something different. And that's why these people are angry, because they're like, they never expected it. So it's almost like you're cleaning house. You're cleaning house. So there's always a space between what you reap to what you sow. So you may be like, I feel like I have no friends anymore. I feel like I have my dogs and my cats and my animals, but I don't have friends. And it's because there's, again, always a space between levels, between when you evolve. So it takes time to get people out that were on that lower vibration, and for you to, again, be interactive in life so that you can attract people more in alignment with your goals and your dreams. And that's what's happening now. And that it's balancing you out. And this is Spirit saying that you find balance between each sphere of your life, that you can master your daily life, make time to nourish the spiritual and the physical, and bring love to the world by fulfilling the needs of your body and your soul. So this is what's happening now. What's happening now is not about growing like relationships. What it is about getting balance within yourself. I feel like the trauma that you grew up with never being acknowledged and never praised for anything good, children need that. It makes them feel strong. It makes them feel, it gives them hope. It gives them, there was no support. You had an angry parent that didn't want to acknowledge the good things that you did. or somebody in your life that meant something to you that just didn't want to give you that. So understand what Spirit is saying. It's like this is all about finding balance within yourself, about getting into your body, and it's about, integrating the your ideas in with grounding. It's not just about keeping things up in your head, it's about becoming yourself. You get balanced by becoming yourself, and that happens through being interactive in all spheres of your life. So there's time for your physical health, time for your spiritual health, time for friends, time for hobbies, times to grow yourself, time to create, time for work, and whatever else you do. And that Spirit is saying it's like this is when your intuition is going to be the sharpest. This is when you're not so close up to the picture while you're only creating, creating, creating to the point that you lose, you know, what you do or the passion for it. It's this is about finding what works for you and to get balanced within yourself. If you grew up in the environment again where there was no love, no real support, no nurturing, well, it would keep you more up in your head. And wanting to fit in and wanting to be liked if you're a child. And I feel like you did that as a child and then you didn't. And then just the same as you had these friends come into your life, you did it with these friends, and then you didn't. It's like, and when you didn't, it changed your entire life around because you poured the energy into yourself. And that's why these people are angry because, hey, you're making them look at themselves and they don't like what you're showing them. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.